Good morning and welcome to Valley Views. I'm your host, Glenn Edison. We're certainly glad to have you. And as always, we want to thank BTC Fiber for sponsoring our program. And you can see these interviews on BTC Fiber's YouTube page as well as Cable Channel 18. And today we have with us Louise Horgan of Studio H. And Ann, thank you for being with us. We appreciate you being with us.
I'm happy to be here, sir.
And I missed your grand opening. I had something going on that day. But I appreciate you being with us. Now, tell us a little bit. I should point out to our listeners and our audience that you are a licensed massage therapist.
Correct.
And a lot of people may, I'm sure, have their own idea about massages and everything. But give us a little bit about a little background on you and then why you got into this.
A little background on me. Let's see. When I graduated from high school, I went to a 4-year college and got a BA in French and music.
Yeah.
Then I went straight into the business world and was in sales and marketing for 15 years, at which point I came down to Tennessee from the Boston area to because I had taken up hang gliding.
Oh, yeah.
So I am here in Dunlap because of hang gliding. And liked it so much and met a feller and moved south. We had 3 children and he's not in my picture anymore. He's still very much a dad to my boys who are all now in their 30s and who are all hang glider pilots, licensed hang glider pilots. And let's see, in raising them, I, alone for the most part, I was told by a friend. This kind of fits into one of your other questions, but I was on a trip with a friend and a bunch of other people in the car, and he was rolling his shoulders, and without even thinking about it, I put my hands out over the back seat and started working on his shoulders. And he said, "Ann, where did you learn how to do that?" And I said, "I didn't learn how to do this." And he said, "Oh, Ann, you have to go to school so you can make some money with those hands." And the following year I enrolled in massage school, and that was in 2020. So this is my 24th year doing this for a living.
Well, that's neat. And I guess there's in massage therapy school, I guess there's a lot to you have to learn a lot about the body and the muscles and various things and what to do, what not to do,
correct,
how to do.
Yes, you do. And then you graduate from massage school and you learn the world opens up even more. And so I'm going to say that I had a very great basic education in massage. I loved anatomy and physiology. It was how everything worked together that just rocked my world. And I learned right away that I wanted to be in a position in the massage therapy world where I could make a difference in how somebody's body worked, not just to generally overall make them feel better, but to how to help them regain mobility, how to keep them in balance, how to strengthen what needs to be strengthened and stretched what needs to be stretched. And those sort of things are not taught in beginning classes. That's all after you get out of school.
Right, and I imagine there's different levels or different types of massage therapies that you can enter.
Yes, and I chose to go the clinical route, and so I have national certification in orthopedic massage, in myofascial release, a specific type of work, medical massage, which basically is a version of orthopedic, and that sort of thing. You know, where what my focus is on the client is not necessarily to touch every inch of their body, but to focus on where their issues are and to help them self-correct or get on the way to being corrected.
I guess similar. I guess people could relate similar to maybe a chiropractor who deals with the body. Similar. I guess similar to what you would do in a sense. But
In
Not-
a sense, the
yeah.
chiropractor works on the spine and the nerves, and I work on soft tissue only. So you can't come in to see me and say, "Can you crick my neck?
yeah, right.
Can you crack my back?" Which is an awful way to look at chiropractic, because chiropractic saved my life many times over, as far as
Right.
my personal health and that of my children. So
And a lot of times, I know, even just not a athlete, but just common person, they'll pull a muscle or strain a muscle just from everyday work, whether it be in the garden or yard, or sometimes just when they bend over, something, gets out of whack.
Yep.
And that's where you come in, to where you can massage those muscles and work with those.
That's correct, and a lot of my work is done through assessment. I watch how you move, what I can see where something is off in your body, and we can go about strengthening the muscles that need to be strengthened, stretching the muscles that need to be stretched to balance out the joint that might be affected, or the part of the body that's not happy.
Right, because a lot of ways that you can only see through the body are like through MRIs and things like that, which you don't have.
No.
But it's important that you can read those things. I know with my chiropractor, when I go to him, when he's dealing with me, I go, "Oh, that hurts." They go, "Oh, well, I need to deal, what hurts more and where my pain is." Because a lot of times where your pain is not where your problem comes from.
That's exactly right. And a lot of people don't understand that until we in the profession can get a hold of them and help them understand that what's going on in your upper arm is not the problem. It's what's going on in your shoulder.
Right. I mean, it could be a lot of things, and that's where you come in as a professional and evaluate everything. And like you said, it may take more than one visit, and a lot of times you can't just. It's not like you go to the doctor, get a prescription, go home, take it.
Although I do give homework. If you really want to get better, then you can do this at home. Nothing I do is rocket science. It's all wonderful hands-on work. These are my tools. And I like I said, when I went to massage school, I said, my head learned what my hands already knew.
Yeah.
It was one of those things that this was just the right place for me to be.
Right. And it seems like massage therapy and masseuses are now becoming more popular than they were just 5 years ago.
My practice took off about 5 years ago. Yeah, it about tripled.
And it's just something that I guess massages are one of those things where you have a lot of ignorance on, because you're not sure really what all they do or how they do or how they work. And then when you learn, you educate yourself, you go, "Oh, well, I've got, maybe this will work for me." And then you try it out.
Yes, and as I emphasized before in another interview, massage is safe touch. First and foremost, it's safe touch. We are under the same moral grounds as a doctor would be. First, do no harm. And massage is safe touch. We keep our clients draped. We a lot of times work through clothing and drapering and all that. Of course, we can't put any lotions on your skin if the skin is covered with something, but that's all arbitrary. You can work without oil. You can work without cream. I've had lots of people that come on my table don't even bother to get under the covers because they stay fully dressed, and we figure out what's going on with them and we help them rectify that.
Well, that's good, and that way that they are part of the process.
Correct.
They have a say in how they're treated.
Yes, and any kind of personal goal like that greatly improves their chances of getting better. Anytime they're that mentally committed to a process.
Right, and it makes them feel a part of it, and not, I won't say they have not hatred, that's not what I'm looking for, but I have an antagonistic effect, saying, well, they just think they know what they're doing, they don't know, that type thing.
Yeah, and often by the time you get on a massage table, you're resigned to going through with it. So you've made a mental adjustment in your
Right.
own mind that I'm going to see if this works. I'm not here to see that it doesn't work. I'm going to see if it does.
Right.
And now that opening is there, that's when healing can happen.
Right, because I know just everybody's body is different, so you have to approach each one of your patients different.
Correct.
You know, no one's the same, so someone that's big and muscular may have a problem that someone that's, well, let me reverse that. Someone that's small may have a problem that someone muscular and works out all the time or is working constantly wouldn't have, because they're constantly using their muscles.
Correct.
So being sedentary, you know, and not using your muscles like you could,
Yeah.
I'm sure you've seen plenty of patients that way.
Well, I have the whole spectrum. I've worked on children all the way up to octogenarians and nonagenarians.
Now, I guess one of the things I should ask, because ignorance on my part, is do insurances cover this type of therapy?
Some insurances do. I do not take insurances. I've been contacted by different insurance agencies, and they're not willing to really allow me to practice to my full extent of capacity. And but I tell anybody with insurance, if you will pay me, I will help you with the documentation so that you can get reimbursed. But I'm not going to file that for you. I would have to charge you way more money to do that.
Well, I know insurance companies, and I have plenty of people that I know that are in the insurance business. I'm not trying to put them down, but they're just so many rules and regulations and
Correct.
stipulations, and you can't do this, you can't do that, here's what you can do, and we'll only pay so much for this. And
Yep.
so the next thing you know, you're sometimes you're at a loss about what you, and that a lot of times that determines what people can do or will do, because they're not sure.
Exactly.
But
Yeah.
it's a good thing that you work with people that way, because they want that documentation.
Well, and I have personal experience. I was 30 years without any medical insurance whatsoever, so I took very good care of myself for 30 years. And then I turned 65 a few years back, and I all of a sudden have medical insurance, and I still don't have anything wrong with me.
Well, that's a good thing. That's a good thing. Let's talk about, we talked briefly, but about the benefits of massage.
Well, right off the bat, my encouragement to my clients when they first come on the table is to regulate their own breathing. Let their brain get involved with their breathing, because when you do that, and every time you do that, it sends a signal to the rest of your body to let go, to relax, to unwind, to allow. And that's what you have to do, is you have to allow yourself. You can't make yourself relax, but you can mentally allow yourself to relax. And that's when my job gets a whole lot easier, because when you're on the table and your muscles are tight and everything else, then I can do a whole lot, but you haven't done anything yet. And it takes the both of us to accomplish what your goals are.
Well,
and we know that going in.
It's like when you go to the doctor, a lot of people have that white coat effect. They get all nervous and tense and everything. And I've been so many times to all my doctors, I just go, you know. And when they tell me to breathe deeply, I can do that. It's not, I don't have an issue with that.
Right.
But I realize a lot of people do. You know, they
That's
just they get tense. And
So the first big thing is allowing for whatever's going to happen to occur, because it's a safe environment, it's safe touch. So when I pick up your hand, I need you to let me do that, and you're holding it. Let your arm go. Let it go. All the way. Just drop it. Now, allow me to lift it. Nope, you're helping. This is one of my rules. I get to do all the work. You don't get to help. You're helping. That's all right. We'll fix you. But that's part of it. The next thing is the endorphins that are released when you do relax go a long way towards. It can last for more than 24 hours sometimes. That the massage increases blood flow to your organs and to your brain as well as to your muscles. An over tight muscle that gets released can, assume its normal resting length. An overstretched muscle that gets worked can go back to its normal resting length, and then your body is in much better balance, and you're able to go through your days, with more awareness of how your body is doing.
Well, that's neat to know. People, because I think a lot of people need to be aware of their bodies, and when things are going on. A lot of people wait till they have chest pain, then they're going to go to the ER, and they realize, well, hey, I should have gone a long time ago when it was hurting, weeks back, and that's a thing that when I go, I've been, of course, I have a liver transplant. I've been, and that's 7 years ago, and but I kind of watch my body, and when something's not right, I start trying to figure out what's going on before I have to go to the doctor. So I have to.
You're making the connection in your
what
brain.
I've done different. Is there anything I've done different that might have done this, or is there something that's just started and have no idea why it started, what's going on?
Yeah, it's all about awareness. I mean, I used to be a runner. Can't run anymore. Have a bum knee, and so I do a lot of walking. And I live in the woods, so I do a lot of walking in the woods. And I actually took a class so I could teach a matter of balance classes, which are focused on older people. It's all about basically eliminating the fear of falling. And every time you go to the doctor, what do they ask you? Have you fallen in the last few months? And I'm like, yes. Because I just throw my body through space and I deal with the consequences. I am not afraid to fall. However, what I realized is, and I had this aha moment yesterday, here I am almost 70 years old and I'm tripping on stuff. And I'm thinking, pick up your feet, Louise. And then, because as soon as you pay attention to your walking, again, consciousness, awareness, then you don't trip. And I'm thinking, this isn't just because I'm old. I've been doing this since I was like 12. This has been my life. So yes, I trip and I don't pick up my feet. My awareness more now than ever is pick up your feet so the consequences aren't so severe when you fall down, but I can face plant with the best of them.
Well, and that's something that more, I hate to use the word elderly people, but that is something that happens a lot, and it's usually, I know just the other day, I was going home and I was going up the steps to my porch, and the last step I didn't pull my foot up far enough and it tripped over the ledge and I fell and had to lay there a minute.
At least you were going up.
Yeah, and because going down I'll face plant, But it hurt. I was sitting there and I was able to scoot over and grab a hold of the my porch where I could pull up eventually. But that was painful, for a while. But it didn't hurt me though. I was surprised. I think it just shocked me. I felt the shock when I fell on my back.
It's startling. Yes.
So I watch myself. I have to be careful, because I don't want to fall, because that could do a lot of things, like you said, your knees, mess up your knees and all kind of things. And well, excuse me.
So where were we? Massage benefits.
Yeah, massage benefits.
You kind of learn. In massage, we don't tell people anymore you should go drink something because it flushes out your system. They have proven in the lab that that's not the case. So, but that doesn't negate the
drinking of your water.
Drinking enough water.
Yeah.
You should always be hydrated because your body is meant to be that way. And when you are dehydrated, you get a lack of all kinds of things, brain function, muscle function. Your bones get, because your bones and muscles have such an interactive quality to them, the bones get depleted when the muscle needs more because the muscle's not sending it back to the bones. And it's just, it's not a good state.
I get cramps, a lot because
that'll tell you.
I can tell when I don't drink enough water,
Mm-hmm.
because at night when I lay down,
Mm-hmm.
I'll be dead asleep and all of a sudden, and it grabs it. Oh wow!
Yep.
And so
Yep.
I try to drink more water. I need to.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
everybody needs to.
We do. Yeah, we all do. One of the interesting things for me was I was about 10 years into massage, and I got hired on. Well, hired is not the word. I volunteered for the cross-country coach position at the high school. And I coached cross-country for 10 years as a non-faculty coach. And the fun part about being a massage therapist was I knew my anatomy and physiology, and I could apply a lot of what I do for my body. I could coach my runners through that.
Yeah, because I used to run 10 miles a day when I was in college, so
Mm-hmm.
I understand.
Yep.
And speaking of college, a lot of college and pro athletes, they get massages all the time because they're really working their muscles out, whether they're playing their sport or working out in the weight room, or some of them running or whatever they're doing for their sport. They're keeping their muscles probably more active than the majority of people.
Correct.
So there's times when they need to get their muscles in touch.
Yep, that's right. To keep it again, but the primary purpose is to balance everything out. And that's not something you're necessarily taught in massage school. We're taught how to do all that. And later on, when you get some personal experience in the field and get your horizons broadened by some advanced classes, you think, oh, that's why that works.
Yeah.
We know how to do it, but we don't know why it works.
Yeah.
And then because, massage schools are interested in turning out massage therapists.
Right.
And then you grow into your profession.
Well, I've noticed too, talking about massage therapists, I think now there's 3 or 4 that I'm aware of right now in the area. So it's growing. And
there have been that many for 10 years, 15 years.
And so people need to take advantage of it.
Yes.
Well, speaking of taking advantage, tell us where you're located and how we can get in touch with you.
I am we were talking about chiropractic, in Dr. Mary Babian's office, where she was for the past 15 plus years. Before she moved from the center of town, she was right across the street when I first knew her 30 some odd years ago. And she had been there for quite a while because she practiced for 42 years in Dunlap.
Oh.
But anyway, her office was right in the I think that they'll call it now the Health Force building. And I have renovated that space for my practice. And so my sign is up on the wall, Studio H, on the outside wall. Dr. Mary's sign is still up there. We're going to have to do something about that.
Yeah.
But as a matter of fact, I make sure I'm here on Wednesdays because somebody always walks through the door looking for Dr. Mary on Wednesday.
Oh, yeah.
Somebody who didn't realize she was not in town.
Yeah.
Some people know me, some people don't.
Uh-huh.
They all get sent away with, or, I invite them to make an appointment or whatever, of course, because
Now, you open every day, or you have certain days
I
you're
work
open?
by appointment.
By
So
appointment.
while this is all still, the building's still not completely finished off, and so I'm there more often than I would be if I were just coming into work, shall we say.
Well, how do they get in touch with you if they want?
Well, I have, my number is on my sign, and I can tell you that number right now. It's 423-802-9340, and Louise Horgan. That's on my business cards, that's on the signs, that's on anything I put out there It's even on the application to get your massage. The intake form, it's not an application, it's an intake form.
Well, is there anything that maybe we haven't discussed you'd like to bring out that people need to be informed about?
You did a very thorough job.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. And I appreciate you being with us today.
You bet.
And hopefully this will enlighten other people so they can come around.
That's right. Oh, I will say one thing. A lot of times, companies will hire me to show up at their place of employment business with my massage chair or my massage table. So I do also corporate massage.
Oh, okay.
So there are a number of businesses in town that I do that for.
Well, and I imagine that's something we didn't talk about, but if you're behind a desk all day and typing at a computer all day, I mean, there's certain muscles when you get home,
yes.
It affects the neck and shoulders and arms and fingers, everything.
And your hip flexors, everything.
And so I see now more people going to a stand-up desk, which is nice. And
I have one of those at home, not at work.
And so I think a lot of people like those because it gives them a freedom to move around. They don't have to just up and down all the time. And a lot of times, I know just different times, I think the first or second year I was in education, I was sitting at my desk one day and I reached over to put a piece of paper in the garbage can and pull my back. It was just something simple, and I had to go home. I couldn't move. And so
been there, done that.
So it's good to know, and so we can get you squared away, and hopefully they'll be more informed about what massage therapy is about.
Wonderful. Well, it was my pleasure to be on your show.
Well, thank you for being here.
You bet.
And again, you can see these interviews on BTC Fiber's YouTube page as well as BTC Fiber's cable channel 18. So until next time, have a great day. Hey everybody, this is Glenn Edison from Valley Views. We appreciate you watching our shows, and we would like for you to like, share, and follow us on Facebook, as well as like and subscribe to our YouTube page.